do you agree na dapat si Senator Cheese, or do you share the same sentiment as Attorney Sal na hindi dapat si si Senator Cheese Escudero ang presiding officer?
Sa akin kasi, first and foremost, sa akin, ang pinaka-importante kasi when you have an impeachment trial or proceeding like this one, which is very critical and crucial, and kumbaga, maraming tao ang nag-aabang dito, including people from the international community, nakatutok sa atin, especially kasi very popular and controversial din ang si VP Sara in many respect, or ang the Dutertes in general. In general, kasi you have the father in the ICC also that will face a trial by November. Ang ano kasi sa akin, importante is someone who's competent enough to handle the whole impeachment trial or proceeding. And you need a lawyer who is competent and who actually understand how it how he or she handles it, especially when you are using parliamentary procedure, and at the same time yung ano ba, yung
legal.
paano ba legal proceeding talaga. Kasi hindi naman siya criminal court, or it's not really the usual judicial court na meron tayo, kasi it's an impeachment trial, pero still you need someone who's competent. So ang ano kasi diyan, kaya nila pinilit na si Escudero or si Senator Escudero ang maging presiding officer ng impeachment trial, precisely because I think Senate President Gatchalian is not, I'm not sure but from what I know, hindi siya lawyer, and I don't think he knows exactly everything needs to be done, especially pag nagro-ruling. Kasi ang pinaka-importante dyan, di ba, nagro-ruling ang presiding officer sa mga very technical and very critical na mga motions and objections coming from the floor, both from the defense and the prosecution.
Ayun.
So yun yung I think I think the rationale behind na pinilit nila si Escudero, and also in a way to put some kind of legitimacy and proper orderly manner yung proceedings. However, the problem with that is kinukontend yan na as far as the Constitution is concerned, dapat ang Senate President ang presiding officer. At ang sinasabi, there are a lot of jurisprudence na talagang dapat ganon, based on the, kumbaga, wala man siya explicit. Hindi kasi explicitly sinabi ng Constitution, pero ang framers ng Constitution, yun ang kanilang sinasabi na, if there is like a case like this, dapat ang Senate President. So may ganong kang contention. That's why Senator Alan Peter Cayetano was raising it. Well, at the same time, the two Cayetanos raised it up on the floor, and many other people, especially mga lawyers and other legal luminaries, are saying na from the very start pa lang, medyo problematic na ang impeachment trial, especially sa election ng tinatawag mong presiding officer, kasi hindi nga ang Senate President. However, there are other luminaries din na, na sa legal profession natin dyan sa Pilipinas na nagsasabi na hindi, okay lang yun. May mga gano'n. So it's actually a debate at the moment. But again, the only institution in the Philippines that can possibly resolve the debate is actually the Supreme Court. Kasi sila Supreme Court pa rin yan, kasi the Supreme Court will interpret. It's the only institution that has the power and the authority to interpret the Constitution.
Okay.
So yun.
Si Prof. Ana, yesterday nga po was actually the second day kasi nung first one nga was about procedural motions, di ba? So kahapon po talaga yung umpisa ng bakbakan. Pero yesterday we saw na nakafocus po sila, 3 oras nga po yata tinilakay, no? Yung fourth article impeachment.
Yun ang una,
yung which was the video nga po, kung saan di umano ay nag-threat po ang ating Vice-Presidente laban po sa buhay ni na President Bongbong Marcos, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and dati pong speaker na si Martin Romualdez. So ang tanong ko po, because this is a kill threat, kumbaga, day, sapat po ba ito para magtawag siyang impeachable? What is the threshold po para masabing impeachable itong kill threat? If ever man there was really a threat, dahil ito nga po inaakusa sa ating Vice Pangulo, ito po ba sapat para maging impeachable, offense?
Well, this is Article number 4 is part of the core allegations against the Vice President as far as the impeachment trial is concerned. If you ask me, I have, if you ask me kung impeachable, ano siya, well, offense, or it's already what tantamount to what you call public trust, kumbaga, yung
Betrayal?
issue of public,
Oo.
betrayal of public trust as far as the Vice President concerned. To be very frank, I don't think so. Bakit? Because I was in that press conference. I was
online.
yeah, I was there online. I was one of those people who actually attended the press conference as a media personality because I'm a columnist from Manila Times. So I was there from the start until the end. There is a context there. May context to yun. Kung isasumahin mo lahat, kung nandun ka, umpisahan mo from the very start ng press conference until the end, may konteksto kasi kung bakit niya nasabi yon. And it was part of the whole brouhaha and the whole dramatic situation of the Attorney Laika. Because it's supposed to be not kasi hindi, ano talaga, being honest with you, Ricky, and even the whole Philippines, it was not a press conference of the Vice President. It was a press conference of Attorney Laika. Because Attorney Laika was facing parang emotionally and physically exhausted na nung time na si
She was in
Attorney
ano kasi,
Laika.
no? She was
Oo,
under
kasi-
arrest at the time.
Hindi nga under arrest siya. She was detained.
Detained pala, sorry. Oo.
Na-detain siya sa House of Representatives kasi contempt dahil hindi niya sinagot.
Oo.
Hindi daw niya nasagot yung tanong sa kanya during a hearing dun sa Quadcom. So, ang nangyari, na-detain siya, and that night, around 11, I think, kasi alam ko yung nangyayari. Around 11, ililipat siya sa Women's Correctional na. So,
Yun.
nagkaroon ng emotional outburst precisely because tama naman si Attorney Laika in this regard. Kasi nga, sabi niya, wala naman siya, hindi naman siya criminal, wala naman siya kaso, detained lang siya, contempt, bakit siya ililipat sa correctional? So that's the starting point. So nagkaroon ng maraming nangyari doon until the point that the VP needed to go to the room of last minute, bumaba doon sa room ni Attorney Laika. Attorney Lopez, and at the same time, si Attorney Lopez, yun na, nagko-collapse na, ang dami na nangyayari physically, hindi na okay. So that was the time na when someone asked her, the VP, kung mayroon, ang konteksto kasi doon, the question was, there are attempts to kill the Vice President as well. May mga ganun na lumalabas na mga we don't know how true all of this were before. Pero marami kasi din naririnig ang VP at the same time yung mga reporters and media alam mo, even I heard about this Operation Romanov or whatsoever, but I did not ask the question. Someone asked the question. So siguro for me, the way I read it, out of emotions siguro kasi sobrang heightened yung emotion, nasabi niya yun, but I don't think she was really saying it with the intent purpose of quote-unquote allegedly killing the president. I don't think so really, to be honest.
Okay.
Kasi if you really put everything into context, that's why I was saying last night, yesterday, while there was an ongoing coverage kami ni Harry Roque, dun sa day 2 na hearing, they need to look at the context and they need to watch the whole video precisely because that's the only way they will understand the context of that supposedly statement na ginagawa nilang allegation against the Vice President. Because I don't think that was there is really like a intention to whatever kill. I don't think so. I really don't.
Kasi isundutan ko lang yan, Professor Ana, kasi also in the hearing last night, yesterday, I was listening to it nga, they also made reference po to an earlier video that she made in a press conference wherein she said also, allegedly, na sinabi daw niya ito kay Senator Amy na galit na galit nga siya, papapugutan nga daw niya si PBBM, tapos itatapon nga daw niya yung bangkay ng tatay ni the former President Ferdinand Marcos sa West Philippine Sea. So parang yun ang gusto nilang establish, no, na meron nga siyang laging pagbabanta. But sabi mo nga, you explained that it was the context they were referring to nung November 2024 was because nga of what they did to Attorney Lopez. So sa tingin niyo po, no, yung dalawang press conferences po na yon, does that also put the Vice President in a more precarious situation, no? Kasi nga seen by millions of people, heard by millions of people.
Yeah, I understand also the predicament on the part of the Vice President kasi may nasabi siya. O yun may nasabi siya. That's also another thing. On the other hand, yung sinasabi naman dun sa isang video ng NBI, at well, it was a press conference. I think the whole Philippines watched it. May kung kang kailangan doon i-consider, ini-imagine niya. It was just an imagination. It's figurative. As far as I'm concerned, it's figurative really. Because ito lang naman, simpleng psychology lang yan. If you really want to kill someone, would you want to say all of these things in front of the public and the whole world to know and to say? That's not how you kill someone, to be very honest. It's really a psychology. It's really something that we need to understand. Kasi if you really look at the situation also of the Vice President, she's been going through a lot from 2023 until now. So siguro out of, yung mga nasasabi niya, it's frustration because she just want to have yung may mga statements siya before, kasi sinusundan ko rin yung kanya mga statement. Ang sinasabi nga niya before, she doesn't even want to, to replace the Vice President or, sinasabi nga niya, di ba, patapusin niya siya kasi hindi ko gustong kunin yung posisyon niya para alam ng buong mundo kung anong klase siyang presidente. So, you can see na I think it's all out of precision na para ba, tama na. Bakit ba, ano ba ang ginagawa niyo sa amin? Wala naman akong ginagawa sa inyo. Bakit ganito ang ginagawa niyo sa akin? Parang in that context, you will see where she's coming from. And all of this pronouncement and statement, these are figurative for me as far as I'm concerned. Because to be very frank, if someone wants to kill another person, do you really want to announce it to everyone? Ay, hindi. Walang ganun. That's so stupid.
Diba, Prof?
To be very honest.
And Prof, diba, I mean, like, in fairness to the Vice President, she is a lawyer. Alam niya siguro naman po yung pagkakaiba na mens rea. Halimbawa, that's the intent to kill versus the actual killing. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, Prof, I don't think that holds here in the Philippines or kahit anywhere in the world na porket naisipan mo, kumbaga, sa sa ibang mga relihiyon nga, iba yung naisip mo, iba sa actual na ginagawa mo. So I don't, to be fair, tama, I agree with you, Prof, diba? So anyway, Prof, ang susunod ko naman pong katanungan ay since kahapon po, sabi nila, ang prosecution daw, parang nanalo na sila. Ayun yung victory. They claim that they won day 2. Kumbaga sa rounds po ng boxing. Day 1, supposedly sa defense. Day 2, prosecution daw. And they were saying mahina daw po ang depensa na ipreresenta ng depensa. Do you agree with this, Prof?
Ako, for me kasi, day 1, pinanood ko the whole proceeding. Day 2, pinanood ko the whole proceeding. If you ask me, it's too early for the prosecution to even claim that they won already. It's too early. In the very first place, if you really listen to the prosecutors, even the House of Representative, prosecutors, na yung dalawa na nag-opening statement sa day 1 and even the day 2, even my defensor, they're just so dramatic, They're so dramatic and painting the Vice President as if he is as if she is already like, a very bad person in the entire universe. That's so dramatic because in an impeachment trial, you don't need to do that. You just need to show the evidences and then both sides should examine the evidence. Yun lang yun. Kaya nga nag-o-object kasi it's really a political grandstanding and it's already propaganda na pati yung killing and shooting na nangyari sa Tacloban, igagamitin ni Mike Defensor just to paint na, the Vice President.
Hindi po si Mike Defensor.
Kakampi po niya si Mike Defensor.
Hindi si Defensor, yung
the congressman. The congressman,
hindi si
Mike, hindi si Mike na nakakulong.
Nakakulong, ha? Yung isa, yung nag-deliver na opening statement just to clarify na, alam mo, para sa akin, why do you have to use the incident just to deliver your speech in impeachment, iko-connect mo dun sa issue ni na Article 4. And another thing,
May Clarence.
this is crazy, sabi ko, bakit may ganon? At saka, it's supposed to be just, a legal proceedings and make it so. Huwag na tayong mag-political grandstanding. On the other hand, there is another point that I want to put forward when you say that the prosecutors actually claim victory even in day one. Mahina ang defense. Actually, the defense is very good, especially Attorney Sheila. She's very competent. It's just that kung titignan mo rin ang comparison, medyo bata ang composition ng defense team ni VP. Medyo bata, younger, compared itong mga veterano ng lawyers na meron ang prosecutors. Prosecution. Kasi imagine mo, andyan ang mga really, mga kumbaga seasoned lawyers na yan, if you really look at them. So, medyo may challenge din on the part of the defense council team ni VP, precisely because mas bata sila, and when you talk about this kind of proceedings, kailangan ng experience.
Correct.
Experience yan. Quick thinking experience.
Sindakan din yan eh.
Oo, sindakan.
Oo,
Pero
sindakan
Professor,
din yan, oo.
speaking of VP Sara, she made an appearance, She went, pero unfortunately, hindi nga siya humarap dun sa trial mismo. She came at around noontime, stayed for about an hour daw, but only conferred with her defense team, and then had a brief press conference where she just said one line. She did not entertain anything from the press. What is your take on that po? Yung pagpunta po niya doon, pero hindi siya nakinig, Hindi siya nakinig po sa hearing. Pero binisita lang niya yung defense team niya.
Okay, that is a very good question that I want really to answer. But before that, I would just want to make a statement in as far as the prosecution is concerned, saying that it's a victory. No, it's not a victory for the Philippines and for the Filipino people. Every now and then, political scandal after political scandal na lang ang nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Wala nang nangyaring matino at wala nang naririnig ang buong mundo kundi political scandal after political scandal. That is not a victory for the Philippines. Definitely not a victory for the whole, for the Filipino people. Yung statement naman ni VP Sara, I really like it. Anong sabi niya? In this bloodbath and bloodshedding, I will be blooded but unbound.
Yes.
So this is a very powerful statement being sent. She spoke about yesterday. Powerful, very direct, simple, kumbaga one-liner, but it shows kung anong character meron siya. I think it's like saying yes, I will be blooded, but I will not be broken. I will stand my ground. I will be steadfast. And this is what they call courage under siege. And this is what they call steadiness under fire. So that is an image of a leader that we want. Now, I'm being attacked right now. I'm being every blunders are being thrown at me, but I will stand my ground, but I will do my work still as a vice president. That's a powerful statement. And one thing though, she's represented by her defense team. So I think she's already there in that impeachment trial because that is being questioned also by the prosecution. Hindi daw siya nag-attend. She doesn't need to because she has other jobs to do. Andyan na ang counsel niya at saka andun na rin naman hindi naman siya updated, and I think she has be meeting with this lawyer. So I think that's enough for huwag na nating dagdagan ang political spectacle ng Pilipinas. Diyos ko Lord.
Oo nga. Nako, ito nga, hindi ko alam, Prof. At Pat P, ako lang nakapansin, pero parang ang laki ng pinayat ni VP Sara.
At saka bagong hairdo. Ang ikli ng buhok niya ngayon.
Yung mukha niya
Oo, talagang umumpak na po yung mukha ni VP Sara na siguro kahit sino namang ilagay mo sa pwesto niya. 'Di ba, ikaw mismo may persecution sa'yo, ang tatay mo, hindi mo alam kung ano ang kinabukasan sa napakalayong lugar. Siguro din, ikaw din. Ayan ang instant diet, kumbaga, Prof.
Oo, hindi na niya kailangan diet.
Hindi na. Ito, Prof. So, this was just the second day and we're expecting about 90 more days of this. I know it might be too early to tell, pero base po sa naganap kahapon na day 2 ng impeachment trial na talaga namang inabangan ng buong sambayanan, ano po yung maaasahan natin magiging takbo ng mga susunod pang mga araw?
Sa tingin ko naman, in fairness to Senator Escudero, yung the presiding officer at the moment, which is actually still questionable yan, and many people are questioning that, and even I think Torreon already filed a motion or a petition of the Supreme Court questioning the election of Escudero as the presiding officer. So that's something also that we need to watch. Another thing that I think we need to watch before I directly answer your question
Yes,
is yung tinatawag mong 2/3 votes ng 24 senators. Kasi sinasabi na naman ng iba, may mga lumalabas ngayon na legal opinion na actually hindi daw yung 24 kung sino lang yung present at nagpa-participate doon sa proceeding directly and physically speaking. So, kinocontend yan. That is something that we need to watch and monitor kasi they will push for it. The camp of the administration will push for it. Kasi talaga, they want to convict the vice president. They don't have the numbers. At the moment, they don't have the numbers for it. So, ang makikita natin is, I think, of course, as the proceeding will go,
Will progress.
ang mangyayari dyan, at the end of the day, Pat Enrique, this is not necessarily a legal proceeding. This is a political process. It's really political. So you will see political maneuvering on the part of the administration, how to get the numbers that they want to convict the vice president. Of course, sa side naman ng vice president, they will try their best, especially the defense team, to show to the public and to the senator judges na hindi dapat makonvict ang vice president. Pero in terms of numbers, that is something that I think that the Duterte camp should work on as well, na hindi mabawasan ang existing number niya na 8. I think roughly 8. Because na kailangan mo to acquit the vice president. Yun yung ayun. So the proceeding, yung political maneuvering from both sides, it definitely andyan yan. And then, ang ano dyan is, ang interesting dyan is paano gagalaw ang presentation ng evidences at cross-examination ng mga witnesses at pagtatalakay doon sa mga ebidensya. Kasi to be very honest, as I have told you before, tatlo yan. Isa sa pinaka-importanting aspeto dito is to win the public opinion. Whoever wins the public opinion, the defense or the prosecution, the senator judges will be on that side.
Will swing. Pero
Kasi politicians yung mga yan. They will not go against the public opinion because these are politicians. And at the end of the day, they need the votes of the Filipino people when election comes.
Dalawang taon na lang.
Professor Ana, ito po ang aking katanungan na sana may sagot po nyo. No? I keep forgetting to ask it. The Vice President has been slapped with 4 articles of impeachment. Does she have to be acquitted or convicted on all 4 for her to be impeached totally? Paano ba yan? So, guilty, not guilty, or dapat guilty all 4 counts? Or pwedeng dalawa guilty, dalawa not guilty? Paano po yun? Paano madidetermine kung po siya ay tuluyan na po i-impeach o hindi if she's convicted or acquitted?
Actually, that is still not being tackled by the impeachment court. Wala pa yan, hindi pa yan napapag-usapan based on doon sa dalawang hearing na nangyari. Hindi pa yan talaga klarado kasi hindi pa yan napapag-usapan. And I think the court and the senator judges, including the presiding officer, they need to discuss these things. But from what I know, na sinabi ni Escudero, when they make the decision at the end, kasi nagtanong si Riza Ontiveros kahapon, parang closing remarks na yun yung tanong niya.
Yung impeachable, ang threat.
Impeachable offense ba daw ang Article 4 and the prosecution was asked, which is actually it's so uncalled for. I don't think, this is the problem with Riza Ontiveros sumusunod tapos sasabihin niya, it's not necessarily my intention, come on, give me a break. Stupid ba siya? Nakaka-edita totoo, nai-irita ako sa ganun Pero ang ano dyan, ang sabi nga ni Escudero, they will vote per article. Yun ang alam ko. They will vote per article. Kung ito sa Article 4, ilan yung votes dyan, convicted or acquitted or something. I think that is now what is the standing rule. Pero as to kung lahat yan, acquitted, kung bawat isa is kailangan nila magboto, tapos titignan nila kung ano yung kung ilan yung acquitted at article at ilan yung convicted, that is something under consideration by the impeachment court. Wala pa yan So I don't want also to preempt kasi I'm not part of the impeachment. Pero ang alam ko,
That's why I wanted
ang
lang,
alam ko,
kasi baka may alam kayo. Kasi nga sabi ko, paano ba yon? Kunyari, guilty sa Article
Article
1. Not guilty, Article 2. Guilty, Article 3. Not guilty, Article 4. Kunyari, 2-2. It's a tie. So
tie.
paano yun?
I think,
Convicted
if-
o acquitted?
If I may, sa aking karanasan po dyan sa Senado, no, pagkakaalam ko, I don't know kung kailangan magbago. Dahil rules na yan eh. Yan na yung kumbaga standard
Rules
eh.
yan.
It's not a package.
Oh.
So you can just be acquitted, you can just be impeached with Article 1 and you
With
can be
1
removed from office already. That's as
What you
far as I know.
remember.
Pero ayun na nga po, di ba dapat,
Klarado
hindi naman
yun
dapat
kasi
magbago-bago,
apat
di ba?
Apat na articles yan eh. So yun
Ayan.
na nga. Kaya sabi ko, kaya nga hindi ako nag-law.
Ay, ito siguro ako, ito rin nakakalimutan ko lagi ito sa ating mga panahon, but I want to ask siguro from now on, Sabi nga po nila, historical data shows, Prof, that political persecution usually wins the sympathy of the Filipino people. Eventually, yung mga underdog, may underdog syndrome tayo, di ba? If snap elections, we are in a democracy, are conducted today, who do you think will win? Does VP Sara still hold the sympathy of the Filipino people, knowing that she is a front runner still for the 2028 elections?
I will confidently say yes. She will win. If a snap election will be held today or anytime soon, she will win in that election. She's still the front runner. She's still the strongest candidate for president in 2028. And that is the thing. Underdog kasi siya. Ang tingin talaga, hindi lang tingin ng Pilipino, tingin ng buong mundo. She's really being persecuted. There was even a report coming from an India-based media na very popular sa India saying na if Duterte wins, there is a chance for her to make a revenge. The word revenge was there been mentioned. Sabi ko, oh my God, even in media, this very popular media in India, they are covering and closely monitoring this whole trial proceeding. So if you ask me if there will be an election, a snap election will be held today, tomorrow, or within the next 3 months, she will win in that election.
Despite it all.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Professor Ana Malindog. As usual, always a pleasure having you on the show. I'm sure babalik at babalik ka kasi nga sabi nga nila 90 days pa, 90 trial days pa. So kailangan nating himayin to para maintindihan po ng ating mga kababayan. Kaya maraming salamat po. Have a good Wednesday ahead of you po, Professor Ana.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much, Ricky and Pat, and God bless. Thank you.
God bless.